I want to tell you my story. I have struggled with weight my whole life, and I want to take you on my weight loss journey. My triumphs and my failures, the extreme measures I took. I have lost and gained major weight over 5 times till date. I've done everything and anything to lose weight. Now I want to tell you what I did and how I did it. Let's go. You know, like kids, how they have like snack stomach and then they have real food stomach, and the snack stomach, they can eat biscuits from now to tomorrow. But if you ask them to eat real food, they are full after like the first couple of bites. Yeah, that's me right now. I found that working out has actually really helped me with my modeling. I also make sure that I eat before my photo shoots, because believe it or not, I used to starve myself thinking that I would look a little bit thinner. I'm an avid spinner on and off, but I'm a competitive person. So I always rise to the occasion, no matter how tired I am. So, unexpected emergency. I have had to cancel everything that I've been doing in Nigeria, and I am off to Atlanta. Primary reason being getting my COVID shot, but I also had some business and personal things to take care of. So when you're traveling, on an unexpected trip and you're on a weight loss journey, it is really important that you get your ducks in a row. I travel a lot, so this is something that I'm used to. So the first thing I did when I got to the States was I got in contact with G-Day, and I made sure that we kept up with our sessions by going digital. That's right, I just put on my phone, in Zoom, and I did my workout at the gym there. So one of the things that I will just tell you, when you're going on vacation, if your hotel doesn't have a gym, I was staying at home. My gym nearby actually closed down because of COVID. So I found another gym that I really liked, and I just bought day passes. So whenever I felt like going in, I would go into the gym. Sometimes I would work out at home as well. If I didn't have a trainer, I wouldn't work out. I love working out. The second thing I did, and probably was even more important than setting up my workouts, was sorting out my nutrition. Like seriously, because you literally will be on vacation, busy with work, busy with things to do, busy with time difference, and forget what you're eating. And before you know it, you are back to your old eating habits, and you're wondering, why am I gaining weight when I'm out of my usual schedule? So as soon as I was done with my workout, I sat down for a smoothie, and I decided to have my consultation with AskDamz. Okay, so this is my coach, Damz. Damz, say hi.
Hi, how are you? How are you doing today?
Good.
And how are you doing, Shab?
Thanks, girl. Aren't you proud of me for checking in with you? This is like
I'm shocked, actually. I sent you a message saying, you actually sent a full itinerary, like, okay, what's going on here? We have to be careful with the amount of hormones that you're using, or the type that you're using, because the truth of the matter is, weight loss, is a matter of calories in versus calories out, while focusing on the quality of the food that you're eating.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just buy the ingredients, and then I'm gonna.
And your skin is popping, and you actually look slimmer also.
No, I noticed that today in my workout. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like coming off. No, but you know that you can like feel like nothing is happening, because Damola, I'm still 215 pounds.
It's okay. You remember the last time I told you that I haven't actually stepped on a scale? I can go like 2 months without stepping on a scale. Literally, because I'm trying to build lean muscle right now.
Right.
So you have to know what your goal is. You are trying to maintain your muscle. So for you, it's more of an inches game. It's an inches game, not a scale game, as much as you would want it to be a scale game. So the scale would eventually move, but how we're going to know we're making true progress is what your clothes are saying and how you're feeling. So if your clothes feel a bit if they feel loose, then we're making progress.
Right direction.
You have better energy levels, we're making progress. Your skin is popping, we're making progress. You get what I mean? But let's be on the real. With regards to the way you look on the physical, it's your clothes that is going to determine exactly how much progress we're making.
What I did before I traveled was I emailed her my food plan of what I wanted to do. And the first thing she told me was, Sharon, you're going to have to chill out with the keto eating. And, you know, I didn't realize how addicted to keto I was, because sometimes I'll feel like, oh, I'm eating keto. I can eat what I want. It's keto. But the truth of the matter is, if you are doing ketogenic diet properly, there's a lot of measuring. There's a lot of micro and macronutrients that you need to measure. So you need to make sure that the percentage of fat versus the percentage of protein and carbohydrates all balance out. But the way I was doing it was eat what you want, just make sure it was keto. And I'm actually going over my caloric deficit, and I actually had gained weight. So this was why we really had to reel it back. And, you know, she specifically told me that I need to chill out on the keto foods and things like that. All right, so now that I have my directives from my coach, I'm ready to go food shopping. So usually, if I was coming for a very long trip, I would go to about 4 or 5, you know, different supermarkets because they sell different things. They have different things. So I'd go to the farmer's market. I'd go to Sam's Club, which is like for the wholesale things for your toilet tissue and all that. I go to Publix and I go to Whole Foods. But today, I'm only going to be going to Publix and Whole Foods. Whole Foods because I want to be careful about not eating genetically modified food. And you'll find a lot of chicken, beef, fish sold in major supermarkets usually have been genetically modified to last longer, or chemicals to be put in it so that it can freeze for a longer period of time. So I do like going to Whole Foods. Whole Foods definitely sells frozen food, but it has a lot of fresh options. They're known for, you know, responsibly sourcing their food and not genetically modifying a lot of their food. And that's why I like going there. But Whole Foods is expensive. So I don't buy everything there. I just go there for my low carb, sugar-free kind of condiments. I go there for fish if I want to buy like fillet fishes, or if I want to buy a little bit of chicken breast or steak. And it's just me and my husband in the house, so we don't have to get much. So I'm able to pick up a few of my favorite things at Whole Foods. Then I move on to Publix. Publix is my go-to supermarket. There are a few other options, but I like Publix. It just makes me feel clean. I just like the way the shop looks, you know. It's kind of like a Target versus Walmart thing. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. So I go to Publix, and that's where I get the rest of my general food. I get a lot of my vegetables. I just go for the more organic options because it's so much cheaper. I get my fruits from there. I get my water and any other thing that I might need. Actually, on this trip, I was able to save quite a bit of money for both Whole Foods and Publix. I think I spent around $300, and for a week of eating, that is excellent, because if you think about it, you'd go out for dinner, go out to lunch, and spend maybe $50. So I'm really happy because I'm trying to be financially responsible, I'm balling on a budget, and I'm definitely sticking to my plan. So one of the secrets to healthy food shopping, they say you should stick to the outside, because that's where all the fresh stuff is. Then the inside. So let's see how that goes. Comes here, I pick one. So God is delivering me from my cake addiction. So why is it such a big deal for me to meal plan right now? Because Yankee is the land of food. That's why. Because I didn't become an inner fat girl just like that. I had places to help me, and Yankee is one of them. Literally, they make eating badly so convenient. Everything has either, you can go to McDonald's and they will still bring the food to your car. You can go to the drive-thru, or you can pre-order and pack, and they will bring anything to stop you from exercising and encourage you to eat. Yankee is the place. Also, I do have a tendency when I travel, I often feel like, oh, let me just eat all my favorite things first before I start my diet. And before you know it, you've triggered your cravings, and it's hard for you to get back on track. So staying on a plan, having a plan, and watching what I eat from day one was absolutely critical. It was absolutely critical because I love everything in Yankee. At least from my house, there's already a Chick-fil-A, there's a McDonald's, there's a Jamaican place, and a whole bunch of other places. So if I'm not careful, I'll just trigger the fat girl, the inner fat girl, just trigger it. And before you know it, it's just like, so that is why, I'm really careful. One of the biggest things that I've learned on my weight loss journey so far, there has definitely been a mind shift for me. First of all, I realized that whatever I choose, whether it's eating healthy, whether it's working out or whatever, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be uncomfortable at times. And I don't always want to do what I need to do. So there's definitely been a mind shift in the way I eat, what I eat, and where I eat. I am very, very particular about it. Whereas before I would just walk into the mall or a food court and just order anything. Now I'm thinking about so many things. I'm thinking about how much sugar is in the food, how is it going to digest in my body. So there's definitely been a major shift in my understanding about my relationship with food and just my relationship with taking care of myself moving forward. So in my subdivision, and one of the reasons that my husband and I bought our house in this area is because we actually live in the middle of a nature park. So it's a great place for hiking. It's very mountainous. It has a huge river going through it. And there's lots of ups and downs, lots of hills. So if I go in my house and I go on a walk, or a hike, should I say, it's about a 10-kilometer hike, and it takes about 2 hours. And it's one of the things that I try and do whenever I go on vacation, to get some walks in, because it's a great alternative way of working out, especially when I don't have full access to my trainer like I normally do. So one of the things I really love about going on my nature walk is that it's a great opportunity to talk to God. I kid you not. I talk about who's been annoying me. I talk about my difficulties at work. I report to my husband all the time. I report my kids all the time. I stay reporting my staff. You know, it's just a great opportunity to pray, reflect, take a big woosah, and understand that, listen, this too shall pass. So walks can be very, very therapeutic for me. If I'm not praying and talking to God, or if I'm not thinking about something, I love listening to sermons as well. It's just a great way to edify my mind and just keep things going. So my walk was really eventful this time. I am edifying my mind. I'm listening to Joshua Selman, who's my favorite preacher. So I'm going to be listening to that sermon while I walk. Oh, I can practice my catwalk too. I feel like I might call my husband. Is that bad? There's no shame. I have made up my mind. And I'm definitely calling my husband to come pick me up. Hey, babe, do you love me? Do you love me, darling?
It depends.
What do you mean it depends? They say, for better or worse, Lasso. For better or worse.
It depends on what the
Babe, I'm actually needing you to come and pick me up. Because I didn't know. No, you're not out of town, and I didn't know that I was going to be this tired. Babe, please. Uber's going to... What do you mean? What kind of... the realistic example that when you've made your effort, do you understand? God is not mad at you. That's the example I'm setting. Babe, please. You, I mean, can you come... Babe, can you stop trying to be like sexy for the cameras, please? And could you come pick me up? You're doing too much right now. You mean no sex for a month? No, we will suffer together. Why do men only think of it? Why? Let's get out of here. Sorry. There ain't no shame in my game for calling my husband at about 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers into the walk because I was tired. Do you guys? Like, I now had an unexpected trip. I'm not making excuses, but there are valid reasons for me to be tired. Do you understand? There's a jet lag issue. Most times I'm up at 4 a.m. so that I can speak to Nigeria within good timing. I was just tired that day, and halfway through, I said, you know what, my husband's here. If he wasn't, I would have probably been forced to walk or maybe even called Uber. And I'm happy that he came to pick me up. But the reason I even want to share this with you is I've learned to listen to my body. When I'm tired, I don't even push it. Do you understand? When I feel like I'm doing too much, because my brain is overactive, for lack of a better word. And a lot of times I feel like, oh, Sharon, you're being lazy, do a little bit more. But I've started to realize these are forms of self-abuse. You know, there's nothing wrong with sticking to a plan. There's nothing wrong with having an exercise routine. But I think rest is so, so important. And, you know, this trip showed me that I'm actually physically tired, and it was starting to affect my mood. It was starting to affect my mental health. So learning to set limits and boundaries, even if it means that you're setting boundaries with yourself, that's okay. And I'm really happy that my husband was around, and I'm really happy he came to pick me up, because I still got in a great workout. And I'm learning that if I'm going to be on this weight loss journey for a long period of time, I'm going to stop making myself feel guilty or making myself feel bad when I can't do something. What is a colonic? Basically, a colonic is you put this plastic tube up your anus. Sorry to be graphic, but you put a tube up your bum, and both ladies and men do this. And basically you use distilled filtered water, and it fills up your colon, because you know our colon is our intestine, large and small intestine. It fills up your colon, and your small intestine ends around, your intestines end around here, with water. And the idea is all the food that is rotten, that didn't digest properly, all the mucus and the gas and other things that are stuck up in your digestive system has a chance to come out. Because the truth of the matter is, as you eat more, food pushes up more. Not everything gets pooped out. Now, this is why diet is so important. If you're eating leaner foods, greener foods, you'll find that it's easier for your body to digest and absorb these things so it doesn't get stuck in your gut. Unfortunately, someone like me who has proper sugar addiction and proper carbohydrate love and loves her rice and all these other things, I definitely had some things stuck up there. I've not had a colonic since before COVID, so God only knows what was going on there. Guys, I've been doing colonics for a while. It's controversial. Some people don't like it, but I like it. Okay, so you guys give me a minute, let me change, and I'll be right back. I personally like doing colonics once a year, and I usually do 3 to 5 consecutive colonics over a 5-day period. And I usually do a juice fast while I'm doing it. So you might ask why? Because if I'm eating food and then emptying my colon and eating food and emptying my colon, but by the time the digestive system has happened with those foods, it will be stuck in my colon again because I would have already done the colonics. But if you're doing a colonic in tandem with a juice fast, it actually really cleanses your body and allows your body and your digestive system to rest. So some people do it with water, and some people do it with, juices, or some people don't even, or they do it with teas or bone broth. So the point is, go lighter rather, on the meals that you eat. So the old food, the old stuff in your colon that hasn't been digested, it gets a chance to get cleaned out as well. I'm not gonna be able to do it on this trip, but on my next trip, I definitely am gonna do that. So here are the tips that I have for you for this week. Obviously, it's for those who might be traveling on their weight loss journey. Once again, I say this almost every week, have a plan, because your plan changes. So just because you started in week 1 with this plan, that doesn't mean by week 8 you'll be doing the same thing. Have a plan. If you are working out and you are on a weight loss journey when you travel, and you know you're not staying with friends or family, or you're staying in a hotel, for example, or you're staying in your own place, If you're staying in a hotel, you might want to look out for hotels that already have gyms, because working out in the room sometimes can be unmotivating, or it just might not be conducive. It just really depends on how determined you are. There's lots of people that end up staying in a hotel and it's and they end up not having a gym and they work out in their room. Number two, look at online options. There's lots, like me, I did my Zoom with my trainer, but there's a lot of people who also do YouTube. Do you understand? And they do their classes via like YouTube or Apple Workout. There's a few online platforms. There's Peloton and a few other online platforms that you can either use a free trial, or you can subscribe to them, or find a gym in your area like I did. I like the motivation of seeing other people around me working out. I find that I'm just a little bit more lazy when I'm at home. So find a local gym. My second tip, especially when you're traveling whilst being on a weight loss journey, I think it's very, very important to decide how you're going to eat. So some people might decide, you know what, I'm on vacation. This is my cheat time. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I would do is eat very, very clean leading up to the vacation and have a plan to get back on track as soon as you get off of the vacation. But at the same time, I don't want to encourage this eating differently and eating bad and good. The whole point is for us to find some rhythm and consistency, but having a plan on how you're going to eat. So it might be, am I cooking? You might want to find a hotel that offers a kitchen, or you might want to do an Airbnb so you have access to a kitchen. If you're living with, if you're staying with family, are you going to stay with that auntie that will be offended if you never eat her food? You might not want to stay there anymore. You know, these are things that you really, really have to think about, and it depends on you. So for me, I created a meal plan and I went grocery shopping, and I made a decision that I was not going to use Uber Eats and all these other delivery places. Number one, because they're very expensive, you know, and I'm being very fiscally responsible right now. You know, Uber Eats, you order something for like $13. By the time they do their delivery fee, add tax, add tip, and all their other Uber fees, you're paying like $35 to $50. And I just was like, I'm not doing that this time. So when it comes to your eating, decide how you're gonna eat. Are you gonna cook? And you might not wanna cook, but find out where the healthy food areas are. Lots of supermarkets have a deli. There are lots of restaurants offer a skinny menu or a low carb menu or a healthier menu. So there's a lot of things that you can do and to get creative while you're on vacation. So my last tip is listen to your body. I know that might sound so simple, but honestly, traveling takes a lot out of you. So if you're going for a long trip, maybe you're going for a long summer vacation, you might decide, you know what, I'm gonna rest for the first 2 weeks before I start working out again. No problem. The real issue actually, when we're talking about self-love, weight loss and all that, is about how much calories you burn, how calories in versus calories out. So what I mean by that is, how much are you eating versus how much are you burning? If you decide that I'm having Chick-fil-A in the morning, Chinese in the afternoon, pizza at night, you know, I would encourage you to stay working out for one, but it will be very difficult for you to burn all of those calories in one day, depending on your quantities. The last thing I want to talk about under the same listen to your body category is you need to take into account jet lag. It is a beast, and I did not do that because in order for me to keep up with my workouts with my trainer, I had to be up at about 8 a.m. The problem with that is most times I was up already by 4 o'clock just because of time difference. And by the time 8 a.m. came, I was ready to take a nap. So my motivation was a little bit low. So I did get in some workouts, but I did not work out as much as I should have just because I was not realistic about my workout time. So take into account jet lag. It takes about a week or two, depending on your sleeping habits, for you to adjust to that time. So, you know, these are the things that I would say, you know, when you're traveling, don't put too much pressure on yourself. And it might take you a couple of trips for you to perfect maintaining your weight loss, or at least maintaining your weight while you're away from your usual environment and your usual schedule. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, please comment, give us feedback. You can DM me on Life of Rona, and we'll see you next time. And please don't forget to go back and binge watch previous episodes so you can catch up and join us. I will resume posting workout of the weeks this week, and I hope for you guys to join me. Yeah, tell them that we're filming. They need to be quiet. They need to be careful before I come cut them in pieces.
Thank you.
Michael, thanks. You know these white folks about to call campus security, so we gonna get our footage quick. Listen up, okay? They're about to call HOA.